Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time John? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
2nd and 3. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old-school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Carson Wentz and the Eagles getting set to take over. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, 58 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays. When they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 21-7. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays, and it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, but it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none.
Now back to throw, and that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. With it is Jackson. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. A big reason why they've been so successful, this defense hasn't been able to contain him when he gets outside of the pocket.
So true, and that's what is really difficult because defensively you can have a game plan and try to account for all the things you've seen on tape, the way that they run their plays, even his running. But when it's a play where you just can't really say, okay, that's how the play's supposed to go, what they call broken plays, that's when the X and O doesn't work. That's when their Jimmy is better than your Joe.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt. And Wentz will not be able to get rid of it. He's taken down for a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. He'll look to throw. Complete to the running back, Matt Breida. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A big play there on the catch and run. 43 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with exactly a minute to go before halftime. 2nd and 9 now. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. They've got the lead. They haven't really had to utilize him all that much so far, but I guess if you're winning on the scoreboard, not too much to complain about.
Not at all, but you know those guys out wide, they want as many catches as they can possibly get. They may need him later on if things get a little tighter.
Yeah, so far 2 catches. We'll see what happens here as the game progresses. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done.
This is caught inside the 15. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that will make this a 16-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it now. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
On first down, here's Breida. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll look to throw. And this is Parker, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, 48 yards, as his guys are able to pull a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And he's got it for the two-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. And that almost makes it a brand-new ballgame. Now it's a one-score affair after they get the two.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the two-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their two-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. It's a second down run with Sanders. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, Wentz. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
This pass complete, Wentz to Ertz. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing his Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 16.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Wentz to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Shaq Lawson picks up his second sack of the afternoon. On third and long, it's Wentz. Buying time to his left. And he's going to go down again. So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on fourth down. This to make it a 2-score game. Back now in Miami. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. To the football, it's blocked.
Love the effort there. I mean, to get a field goal block in this situation because they knew what was going on. They give up those 3 points there. It's now a 2-possession game.
Yeah, that really changes the complexion here in the second half, doesn't it?
It really does, and now you give your team more than a fighting chance. And
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
They'll set up to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. It'll be a gain of 11. And just like that, it's third down.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. He finds Roberts, complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. He'll drop to throw. This taken in by Jakeem Grant.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
2nd and 1. His throw incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They'll drop the throw, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. They're able to locate Wilson. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. 2nd and 10. He completes it to Wilson. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. First and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts.
49 to Mike, 49.
They'll look to throw again. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Jakeem Grant there to make the grab as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
Back to throw here. And this is caught. And they've got the lead here in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Deshaun Jackson getting set to go again on offense. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. To try again after the sack. Wentz flushed out right. Xavier Howard with a good coverage that time as he was there and knocked it away. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied fourth quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game fourth quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well. Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like a... Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a lot. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They've just likely won this thing in regulation. We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of the long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the return where they didn't create a penalty? Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone will block below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The face mask moves him all the way out past the 40 now for first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.